I guess you could say I am a graduate from the School of Hard Knocks. I live life at its easiest as well as its hardest, and I learn how to bring it all together to live a life of peace, mindfulness, forgiveness, compassion. I am addicted to creativity. I've got to have it at all times. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm talking away. Of what? I don't know. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut because we all make mistakes, so turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. When was the last time that you were mentally moved by an event or a personal experience? Your first reaction was what? It's completely natural to take note of that moment, then stuff it into your memory banks, only to forget about it. During these days of digital, I'm meeting more and more people who prefer to speak into their smartphones for later use. Mark Twain did this. He had a recorder. That's how he got his story ideas. They would come to him and he would put them inside this recorder. It was his secretary that laid it out on the page. To be in that moment when Mr. Twain discovered the power of recording devices. How much of our own life is wasted setting ink free in the openness of journals and or note writing? I've been known to take out my smartphone recorder, but the thing is, I've been known to take out my smartphone recorder, but it makes others in the circle feel very uncomfortable, which is pretty strange to me because words shared in the openness of a meeting, why couldn't it have been documented? You were going to say it anyway. But the very second that you bring out a recording device, especially on your smartphone, people tend to stop moving. They give you the look. Anxiety can be seen inside their eyes. Because that recording device is documenting, when in reality, if it wasn't there, we would still be documenting with our memory. But you know where the memory goes. It only holds on to what it thinks it knows. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer, a silent wolf of sorts. I love looking out at everything and finding inspiration and motivation from everything. It's a lot of content, but it's got to be put someplace. It's in my journals. A regular journal as well as a defrag journal. But we learn from it. We teach from it. We grow with it. This is The Daily Mess. Although it was just yesterday, it feels like days since I've put ink in the veins of this living tree. The mind and memory struggle with the subject shared not even 24 hours ago. It's too easy to return to the scene. If I convince myself to go back one day to figure out what I was writing yesterday morning at this very time, I'll expect the behavior in other experiences. Forgetting about things can be an easy out for anybody. My mother used to say, I don't remember. Well, Mom, I need the answer. Son, I don't remember. Challenging yourself to remember is a huge chore, but it's also an exercise that you could be doing every day. I work with people that aren't even in their 20s yet, and they have a difficult time remembering things. They rely so much on their smartphone apps and alarms to keep them on track. And you know what? I'm guilty of that too. And because I rely on them so much, I return to the app in 20 minutes to remind myself of what I reminded myself back then. Is it a weakness, or do these apps give us the luxury to find new things to explore? I've been in the broadcast industry for 43 years. We didn't have digital devices 43 years ago. It was tape, 2-track tape. If you wanted to splice something together, you had to have a grease pencil and a razor blade. Today, that would be one of the greatest things to experience again because there was something about that time we spent marking, then cutting. It allowed us to put pride in the project, whereas in the digital world, if I screw up, there's a big chance you're not going to hear it because it's so easy to go back and erase it. So therefore, a complete thought for me as a broadcaster could actually be several attempts at trying to share a message. How many times did it take me to get to this point where we are right now? Did I have to do some editing? You don't see it. But that's what we do as broadcasters. We create a thought. We take that thought and we move it forward. But could I tell you what I talked about yesterday? No, I can't unless I physically take this book right here in my hands and go back to that day. And I think I should do it right here in front of you. So today is April 18th, 2023. Let's go back to the 17th. Oh, he's not a happy camper. No, he's not a happy camper at all. Wow. Basically, I'll read you the words. Jesus, please. I teach in a matter of hours. I honestly feel like I just got home from the essential job. Well, in reality, it was just 8 hours ago, and off I go to teach broadcasting. And then you can feel it on the page, the depth of the writing instrument on the page. Let it be written in these pages that the industry I once participated with isn't what it used to be. The life and pride are not there. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Being honest on a page and then taking it to this platform, that's a challenge that I would love to give to you. What are you thinking? What are you forgetting when you put something in that smartphone? Is it an identity of who you are or what you are receiving? Because what you receive can change what you are and where you are. Do you trust the wind like that? Are you able to cope with such situations like that? Because the same old you is not true. We change every day. Do you accept it, or do you sit there and go, if I don't remember it, I don't have to participate with it? But I challenge you. I challenge you to take your recording device, share a thought, and come back to it in 7 days. And let's see what you felt in the moment of receiving it days after you first got your hands on it. I'm Arroe, and that's The Daily Mess.